What's up guys, Houndish here, and today Bungie have jumped in with a massive Crucible update blog for a bunch of changes that we're going to see as part of episode Heresy. So we get a bunch of details about changes for Trials of Osiris. There are some fairly significant reworks overall there. Bungie also preview new rewards, armor, cosmetics and more. Plus they speak about weapons for Trials, competitive rewards, changes for the comp playlist, Iron Banner and a bunch of other stuff. So quite a lot to dig into here guys. I hope you find the video useful. Now though, let's get into it. The first thing that Bungie speak about is a Trials of Osiris rework for Heresy, and they say Trials will first launch on February 14th inside of the Heresy episode, with improved rewards, simplified ways for players to engage, and improved game mode rules. So they're moving to offer a handful of different experiences within Trials so that players can choose in which way they want to participate. And so they've reduced the number of passages available to players from same 14 to 2, which will be one for each initial experience. So first they speak about the Lighthouse passage, and they say this grants access to the fabled simulation on Mercury, with the goal being to move away from flawless or bust mentality into a system where you get 7 wins on a card plus a longest win streak system, with the Lighthouse for everyone, but much better rewards for longer win streaks. So they say it will utilize open skill matchmaking, and there'll be repeatable rewards that we can earn every time we complete a Lighthouse passage and open the chest, as well as weekly win streak rewards. And earning a higher tier weekly win streak reward will grant all lower tier weekly win streak rewards that have not yet been claimed. And so, earned on every Lighthouse visit until a flawless passage is earned, there'll be enhancement prisms between 1 and 2, a base Trials weapon, Trials armor, Osirian ciphers, as well as Ascendant Shard chance set at 45%, and Adept weapon chances. And they'll say we'll have 2 chances to earn Adept Trials weapons with each Lighthouse chest. So for the weekly win streak, they say the chance is based on the longest win streak you've earned in the week, not the longest win streak on your current passage. Keep in mind these are weapon drop rates essentially, so 1 win equals 30%, 2 wins is 60%, and 3 wins or more is 100%. And for wins as trio, they say this chance is based on how many of your wins on the way to the Lighthouse were done as a full fire team. If all 7 wins were done as a fire team, you're guaranteed at least 1 Adept regardless of your longest win streak. And they say reward packages for each win streak milestone can be claimed once per week and are in addition to the repeatable Lighthouse chest rewards. So 1 win streak is between 3 and 5 enhancement cores, an enhancement prism, Ascendant Shard, Adept mod, plus we'll make 50 progress points towards earning the Trials Go Shell and the Hardened by Trial emblem. The 2 win streak will drop Osirian ciphers, and then we can see a 3 win streak will drop the ciphers as well as Trials armor. A 4 win streak will be 2 ciphers and 5 enhancement cores. Then for a 5 win streak, there'll be a yellow Trials glow, ciphers, a base Trials weapon, a Trials memento, as well as 30 progress points towards the Trials vehicle, 100 progress points towards the Trials Go Shell, as well as Trials shaders, which will be on a knockout list, and flawless emblems. But a 6 win streak is a white Trials glow and 2 enhancement prisms, and a 7 win streak, the flawless passage, is a red Trials glow, an Adept weapon, a base weapon, a new flawless passage, and progress on the new stat tracker for flawless win streak. So pretty significant changes to the rewards overall right here, and Bungie are obviously keeping some of the prestige of actually being flawless in the traditional sense, but really opening up the loophole so that there's more than one way to actually earn the stuff. They say after you've earned access to the Lighthouse though, your passage will be changed to a completed Lighthouse passage, so games from there on will utilize weekly performance-based matchmaking, or open skill if anyone in your fire team is on a Lighthouse passage. They do say though there will be additional rewards for longer win streaks, where they'll increase your drop chances compared to lower ones, or allow chances to gain additional exclusive rewards. But they also speak about the Trials of Osiris passage, and they say we want to provide a separate place in Trials that's more like Iron Banner in terms of rewards and matchmaking to get additional players into the ecosystem. And they say Iron Banner averages more than 3 times the daily participation of Trials, and they say in the last 48 months Trials has had more than 20% daily participation only 18 times. So they want this playlist essentially to appeal to more average players. And they say this experience builds off the practice pool, which despite the lower total population has helped keep average and below average player participation in Trials over the last several months 20% higher than the similar low point before the 2021 rework. It utilizes weekly performance-based matchmaking if everyone in the fire team is on a completed Lighthouse, flawless, or Trials passage. And it allows players to take advantage of the improvements to the base reward structure of Trials. But first, playing on the passage will give access to the following rewards. So wins grant reputation, chances for engrams, base Trials weapons, and a small amount of progress points towards the Trials Ghost Shells from the knockout list. Losses will still grant reputation, which will be 10 times more than what's currently given, and a chance for a base trials weapon. But playing in a full fire team will grant bonus rep, chances for base trials weapons and engrams. We'll also get the bonus rep for playing with clanmates, and challenges reward pinnacles and trials armor pieces. They say armor pieces will not be able to be earned from engrams until they've been unlocked, either via challenges or from the Lighthouse chest, and we get a preview here of some of the new cosmetic items. So we've got hunter armor. You can also spot the emblem, which is new for trials, and both a ship and sparrow, which look pretty interesting there. I'm guessing that's going to be the Heresy icon watermark that they've got on them as well. Additionally, we can see the warlock up next. We'll speak about the pulse rifle they're holding there in just a moment. And finally, there is the Titan as well. Interestingly, these armor sets were leaked a little while back. I think the armor looks pretty cool right there. Give us your thoughts below. They reiterate that cosmetics will be earned on a point system. So through some of the methods they were speaking about a moment ago, we'll be able to accrue points towards unlocking these various items. They also speak about new trials weapons though. There'll be a sniper called the Keen Thistle, which is a solar aggressive frame. The left column can roll snapshot sights, lone wolf, under pressure, incandescent, envious arsenal, slick draw, and triple tap. Then the right column can get open and shot, closing time, discord, bait and switch, moving target, vorpal weapon, and 4th times the charm. They'll also bring back the Exalted Truth hand cannon, which will be a void adaptive hand cannon. Left column can get slide shot, lone wolf, destabilizing rounds, moving target, zen moment, keep away, and withering gaze. And the right column can get Eye of the Storm, opening shot, precision instrument, magnificent howl, as well as a redacted perk, and one for all or repulsor breaks. So give us your thoughts about those weapons. They look alright in terms of the rolls, but they say they will add a 3rd weapon to this group later in the episode as part of a late season refresh, which will be the Inquisitor Arc Precision Slug Shotgun. And you can see the rolls for that on the screen right now. They say for Trials Pinnacle challenges though, they'll remain unchanged in terms of how they're completed, but they now grant a piece of Trials armor in addition to the Pinnacle gear. So that's another small bonus right there. But that really breaks down most of the Trials changes that Bungie have discussed in this blog. Obviously, fairly significant overall in terms of reworks, and definitely for those players who perhaps are more casual PvPers, especially if you enjoy spending time in the Iron Banner, but less so in Trials. Obviously, Bungie are really trying to appeal to that audience. So let us know if this sounds like it might get you into Trials a little bit more. I think it's good that they've also preserved most of the prestige of actually going flawless. So I'll be curious to get your thoughts on how they've done it right here down in the comments section. Next up though, they say there will be Dominion game mode quality of life changes, so the zone will now spawn after 40 seconds instead of 30, and it will take 20 seconds to capture, which is up from 15 seconds, and there'll be a neutral special ammo crate spawning at 30 seconds instead of 20 seconds. They also say, in Act 2 of Heresy, they'll allow duos to match trios right off the bat in both Trials and Competitive. And they say they'll be setting it up so that any solo player that gets matched against a larger fire team in either Trials or Comp will be granted loss forgiveness for the match, on the condition that they do not quit, go AFK, or intentionally throw the game. So that's an additional quality of life component, I guess. And they say there'll be a bunch of skill reworks and player score stats, including adding a new visual indicator that players can see to measure performance. And they say for a simple explanation, our skill effectively works by taking the points you've earned in each game and comparing them both to your historical average and to the points earned by other players in your lobby, as well as their historical averages. So the long and short of it is that hopefully this improves match quality overall. And then they speak about points reworks for competitive. So they say for wins and losses, they will add or remove a base value of 100 points, but there'll be a performance bonus linked to player score and efficiency. Above average performance gives you +1 to +10, average performance gives you +0, and below average gives you -1 to -10. Plus there's a contribution scaler that modifies the performance bonus and exists to reward players that have had an outsized effect on their team. So that will be a positive effect, which is another form of kind of protection against being punished for losses despite good individual performance. And then there'll be a skill modifier based on the opposing team's average skill compared to your team's average skill. And it's capped at -20 to +20, but based on current stats, 97% of games will award between -10 and +10. So a lot of numbers here with regards to those changes. We'll see how it actually plays out in the game. Otherwise for Comp, they do say we're excited to introduce our second ever PR55 frame pulse rifle, which is Redrix's S-Doc. I think I'm saying that name correctly. But it'll be a stasis PR55, like the BXR Battler, I assume. And the left column will be able to roll Encore, Lone Wolf, Perpetual Motion, Zen Moment, Offhand Strike, Rhyme Stealer, and Demolitionist, with right column getting Desperate Measures, Sword Logic, as well as Desperado, Headseeker, Rapid Hit, Kill Clip, or Headstone. So some quite nice rolls on that. For other rewards in comp, they do say earning Ascendant 3 will grant you the Winner's Circle emblem we can see on screen. But next they speak about how they're going to cycle some of the playlists. So they said, as we've already been doing with Iron Banner and Trials, events will now replace the most closely related existing node for the duration of their run. They say Iron Banner is reverting to being active for a single week at a time, and they're also introducing an Iron Banner Quick Play Rotator option, which will appear alongside Iron Banner Control, Crucible Labs, but will no longer be a standalone playlist and will appear in the weekly rotation of the corresponding Quick Play node that is most relevant. So Iron Banner playlists will be active on the following weeks: February 18th to 25th, April 1st to 8th, and April 29th to May 6th. And for that Iron Banner Quick Play Rotator, they say based on feedback, we've broken Iron Banner up into 2 playlists, each one replacing an existing node in the Crucible Director. Iron Banner Quick Play will be the new home for Eruption, Fortress, Tribute, and eventually Rift when it returns. It'll feature open skill matchmaking, which is used in the other quick play playlists. But on top of that, there'll be Lockdown 4v4, and they've finally brought Lockdown back and reworked it to address the previous issues. It works like a round-based version of zone control, with a twist that capturing all 3 zones immediately wins the round for the team that can pull it off. Then there'll be Checkmate Throwback, which is 4v4 as well, a new playlist that focuses on what used to be and may one day be again. Still the same Checkmate you know and love, with greatly penalized ability cooldowns, special ammo meter, and modified weapon damage, but with a focus on small team combat, survival, showdown, and countdown rush, all in the rotation. Then there'll be Hardcore Hardware, and if you've ever wondered what Trials would be like with no abilities, now's the time to see for yourself. That will feature Elimination, Dominion, and Countdown. No abilities, no respawns, no problem. So some interesting playlist changes there. And otherwise, they talk about additional weapons being added to some of these playlists. So for Iron Banner, there'll be Warlord Spear and Arc Adaptive Trace Rifle. A couple of redacted perks will be on there, so there'll be a few new ones next episode. I'll let you guys pause the video and check over all those perks if you're interested. Peace Bond will also be back for Iron Banner. Then for the Crucible, there'll be Jox's Longsword, a Void Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle. And that will have the Nadir origin trait as well as Crucible, which is interesting. And finally, they do say they have a lot coming up in Frontiers as well, but they're working on several things that they're really looking forward to getting into Crucible, including a completely rebuilt special ammo meter with significantly more tuning levers and much less likelihood of causing local lag spikes or granting infinite ammo. So guys, a very significant update right there for Crucible overall from Bungie. Probably the biggest PvP focused update we've had for, well, it's at least a couple of years, if not longer than that. But obviously there's a lot of focus on trying to improve the Crucible and bring players into all of the modes, but especially the sort of endgame around Trials of Osiris, even updates to the Iron Banner. So give us your thoughts down in the comment section. I think it sounds like a lot of positive changes, and there is certainly new content there for folks who want to play PvP. So give us your thoughts below. For now though, that's what we have to speak about. If you've enjoyed the video, a rating really does help us on the channel. Otherwise though, cheers for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.